Hello everyone, friends. Today I will try to help you better understand the topic of same phases by doing a small activity with you as much as I can. Although the subject of the same phases is actually an extremely simple subject, what do our students do when they encounter a question? Because they sometimes prefer to memorize these same phases. They are usually surprised. What they can do very easily on an easy subject, they can make mistakes. After doing this activity, I hope they will no longer make mistakes. Let's start right away. As you know, the moon is not a natural light source. It reflects the light it receives from the sun to us. As the moon circles the earth counterclockwise, it sometimes reflects the light it receives from the sun less, sometimes more, and sometimes not at all. So sometimes we look at the moon and it is clear, but we cannot see the moon. What do we call this phase of the moon, the new moon? What does the moon do in the new moon? Ever. It doesn't show up. Now I have something very simple that I prepared for an EE activity. Look, this is how we see the moon. It's jet black. You see here. It's black. What do we call this phase of the moon? New moon. So the moon is not visible at all. What we're going to do is very simple. We're going to do the lunar phases begin with the new moon. What do we do with the new moon? We light it slowly. We will gradually increase its light. We will bring it to the maximum level. What is the maximum level? As we all know, it is the full moon phase. What are we going to do after the full moon? What are we going to do gradually? Increase the light. What do? We turn it off gradually. So actually the moon phases, the moon first gradually light up. Then when the light is full, slow, what we need to know slowly? Let's watch now. There is a new moon phase. After the new moon phase, there's a little bit of light that you now see bright. How much space? Not half, less than half. So it looks like a sea war. You can think of it like the crescent moon on our flag. Look, I'm going on. What will it do day by day? Day by day, it's going to be a shining. It's over there. It's almost halfway there. It's lit up. You can see it on the screen. The right half is illuminated. And what letter do you see? You see a letter D. It's a straight D. What do we call the phase when the right half of the moon is illuminated? We call it the phase of the first four. We continue to illuminate the moon because it is not completely illuminated. What do we do with the light day by day? We increase it. For example, the current image. In the image, how much of the moon is illuminated? What do we call a phase of the moon that is more than half illuminated? What do we call a phase of the moon that is more than half illuminated? I'm going on. The illumination is not yet complete. Yes, I'm going on. As you can see, what is the whole moon now? It is illuminated. What is this moon phase that we all know very well? It is the full moon. So we started from the new moon when there was no light. We illuminated. We illuminated. What did our illumination process do? From the full moon, it came to an end. So what do we do now? The phase of the moon continues. Which process starts this time? From the full moon onwards, what will our light do? It will gradually decrease. From which side will it decrease now? It will decrease from the right side. What am I doing right now? I'll try to distribute it from the right side. Look, the light of our moon has diminished. And which phase is it? I'll see if it's less than half. More than half? Half. I look at the luminous area, more than half. So which is this stage? It's bloated. I'm going on? Yes, bloated again. Yes, it is. Are we at the halfway point? Yes, we're halfway there. Which half is light this time? The left half is light. You can think of it like this, left and last. If the left half is bright, we call it the last fourth, left and last. What can you do in your mind? You can encode it. We continue to darken. What were we doing this time? Blacking out. Yes, it got darker and darker, as you can see. I think it's stuck like this, yeah. Now we're looking at the bright side of the moon. Yes, as we can see, it's less than half, so it's a crescent moon. Yes, our light is decreasing day by day. Our crescent is getting smaller. And what is it doing? We're here again. Which phase? The new brightness. As we said, we started a new family at the event. We finished a new family. So from one new month to the next new month, approximately, the completion of the phases of the moon is 29 days, 12 hours. If we round it up, it says 30 days. This means that how many days do we calculate the month in a calendar under normal conditions? 30 days. What does the month in the calendar do in comprehension? It appears as the completion of the phases of the moon. I hope you understood. You can do this activity yourself. Fold the cardboard in half. Cut the top one round like this. And what do you do with white file paper? First, you light it, starting with the new moon. And then, what do you do with the light after the lighting is done at the full moon phase? Starting from the right, gradually darken it. With your house, with your mom and dad. What do you do? When you do this activity, you will no longer have a question mark in your mind about what to do. Of course, there are things you need to know, which are the main phases. Let's count the main phases. New moon. There's no light. The right half of the first quadrant is luminous. And rising moon. All bright. The left half of the last fourth is bright. So the full and half ones are our main phases, and then there are the crescents. If the crescent is less than half bright, we call it a crescent. Intermediate phases, if less than half is bright. There are about how many days between the main phases? 7 days. So after the new moon comes the first quadrature. After the new moon, then of course sometimes it can be 8, sometimes it can be 9, but I call the average 7 days and the next one.